Today we got another Go High Level tutorial for you. We're gonna build on our last video on opportunities and pipelines and talk about how to make custom automations and workflows so you can automate your lead generation. So if you're manually updating your leads, moving them through the pipeline, you're really missing out and a lead is going to fall through the crack and you're going to be losing out on money. So what we want to do is create automations depending on where they're at in the pipeline or how you tag them. We can kick out workflows to follow up with them, schedule appointments, schedule follow-up appointments, send out invoices, all of those things so we can automate and make sure we're not missing out on anything. So whether you're trying to resell this to other clients and you're trying to automate your business, or maybe you're going to be customizing this for your client and their industry, this video is for you. So make sure you watch everything to the end so you can automate and grow your business. So let's dive in. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Learning Go High Level with Jacob. I'm Jacob Shireman. I am a marketing expert with over 17 years of marketing experience, and I've had my own marketing company for over 13 years. And in this channel, if you're new, you're gonna learn everything you need to know about mastering high level. We have tutorials, and we even have business videos to show you how to make money with high level, whether you're trying to resell sub accounts, a service, or even be an affiliate of high level. And if you don't have access to your own high level account right now, you have two ways you can get access. You can click my affiliate link down below. You will actually get a 30-day free trial instead of the 14-day free trial that High Level offers. And on top of that, you'll get exclusive access to my online community where we help each other grow and master high level. On top of that, you will get a free coaching call with me to see if you're on the right track and make sure you can hit the ground running to maximize your 30-day trial and make sure your business is on the right track with what you want to do to make money. And if you're a small business, maybe you just want high level for your business and you don't necessarily need all of the sub accounts, you can also get our customized white label version of High Level, which is called High Five Connect. And all of that information is down below. We have a full service marketing company. We're here to help any way that we can. So today we're talking about automations, especially when it comes to opportunities and pipelines, so we can close more deals and make sure those leads are converting and not left behind. So I'm going to share my screen and show you everything you need to know. Let's dive in. All right, so now I want to go over automations as it comes to opportunities and your pipelines and how you can keep things moving forward and keep your leads updated, make sure they don't fall through the cracks. So we kind of in the last video went over how to set up opportunities, how to create our pipeline. Now we want to keep people moving through that pipeline based on certain things that they do. So I want to show you some quick automations that you can do. And some of these come standard in High Level as well. So one thing that we want to do is we talked about in our pipeline, let's go ahead and pull it up, that the moment somebody books, they come in as a new lead and we want to move them to appointment booked. Instead of manually having to go in and see who booked an appointment and move them, we can do that automatically. So when somebody books an appointment, let's take a look at this workflow. And this one came from High Level. The trigger is what's going to trigger the entire automation or workflow. So if you're not familiar, I'll do a more in-depth video on workflows, but basically the trigger means when this happens, do this. So you can set multiple triggers for a workflow if there's a lot of different variables, but basically if we click on this, it's going to say workflow triggered appointment status. So we're going to see what the appointment status is. So we would, if you were doing this manually, you would come here, you would click on the trigger, and I'll show you how to do that. You type in appointment status, you'd click on it, and then appointment status, and then you would come down here, event type, normal. So you can do a normal event, just that, or a reoccurring. I don't want it to, on a reoccurring event, to constantly remind them 24 hours, 3 days before. Maybe you can do a separate workflow for that, but I would just say normal. And then that's it. And then the appointment status is equal to confirmed. So we don't want to send them a reminder unless that appointment status is confirmed. If you have it set up in your calendars, and we'll dive into those too. If you have it set up in your calendars that you don't automatically confirm them, especially if it's checking against a calendar for conflicts and if you're available, then we don't want that email to go out as a reminder and let them know that their appointment was booked when it really wasn't. So appointment status is confirmed, and there's other filters you can add too. Maybe you want them to be have a specific tag. In this one, I want them to be maybe in a specific calendar. I want it to be in the schedule an appointment calendar, or maybe you have a marketing calendar, or in my business, I have a marketing calendar, join my real estate team, join, all kinds of things. And so I have specific emails that go out for that appointment type. So maybe if you only have one calendar that you're created, then it could be, you could just leave this blank, but you can also specify the type of calendar as well. And then lead status, lead type, market area. Maybe you have a specific email that goes out to specific markets, whatever, but you can add as many filters as you need to make sure it goes out to the right person. So we would save that trigger. So now when a new appointment comes in under the schedule lead and it's confirmed, then we're going to kick out this workflow. This is where we're going to remove leads from workflow. So maybe they were in a different workflow. Let's say they were in the new lead nurture workflow. I don't want them to continue in that. They haven't responded to any of those emails. They just scheduled an appointment. So I want to remove them from that offer or from that workflow. So that way they're not getting new lead, emails. They know they've already scheduled. So I don't want to, cause them to get annoyed by emails they don't need to receive. So we'll save that action. And the way you can add actions is you just come here and you type. So this would be like remove workflow. So you would come here, click remove workflow. So all of the different types of actions and communications internally, you can get help with AI to write these, appointments, opportunities, all of those things are in there for actions to happen once this trigger is done, okay? So now once we remove them from workflow, those workflows that we don't want them to be in, now we're gonna update their opportunity stage. So again, you would just come here. If you were creating this from scratch, you would just type in opportunity and look, create, update, opportunity. Okay, let's click on this. Update opportunity stage to booking. You can give the action name whatever you want, so it's clear to no matter who's editing this, what the action is being done. So we'd select a pipeline. So I want them to go from in my marketing pipeline to appointment booked. So that way they got moved from new lead or active lead to appointment booked, okay? You can give the opportunity a name. A lot of times we just do the contact's full name. You can assign that. This little tag here lets you use fields so you can dynamically change this content because obviously we don't know the person's name each time. So this would put in their first name, their last name, or whatever you want to call it. But here's all the contact fields that would be in the CRM. Here's all the user fields. This would be who's assigned to them, the appointment fields, the calendar fields, message fields, the account fields, all of that stuff is in here, custom values. So you can get anything that you need. Opportunity source. So where did they come from? So if you have a source field, you could put that in there as well under the contact information or the custom field values. Lead value. This can also be done. Maybe you have a field for lead value. You can do that. Maybe they're booking an appointment for a specific product and you already know the product price. So you could put that there as well. Okay. Select status. So this would still be open if you needed to update status. So once we're going to talk about when they make payments, how to update it. Well, we would change their status to 1 because they made a payment. Okay. And then here's a couple things to know. Allow opportunity to move to any previous stage in the pipeline. If there's a chance they could go back and forth, we want them to be allowed to do that. If not, it's not going to move them back. So if they've already moved forward, so let's say they booked this appointment, none of the other workflows I have that would maybe move something to a new lead, they wouldn't be able to move back to that. They would just stay in their current position. Allow duplicate opportunities. We don't want to allow that. I don't know of a situation when you would really want to, so we'll save that action. So now that we've got them updated, now we can send out some confirmation emails. So we come down here, you would just type in email. If you were doing this from scratch, send email, send voicemail, all of that. And then confirmation email lets them know, action confirmation name, from name, location email. I'll show you how you can technically leave from name and from email blank. If it's going to be the same email every time, we can fix that in settings. The subject, showroom appointment confirmation. So, whatever it is, marketing appointment confirmation. If you want to use a templated email, you can create a template for that. But if not, you just come down here, create an email, and right here, your appointment has been confirmed for appointment start time. So basically, if you were going to do this, you would type that, you would come up here, get your tag, you would go down to appointment start time, start date, end time, end date, day of the week, month, time zone, cancellation link, reschedule link, meeting link, and I'll show you how to use those. Let us know if you have any questions in the meantime. And then I always put that, hey, you're going to get some automated emails so they know, because we're going to remind them again. And then if they're not coming into the showroom, sometimes I will format it a different way. This is just a generic one. I'll show you another one, but I'll put like date, time, and bullet points. And then if they're doing like a Zoom call, you would come in here and then you would go back here, appointment, and it'd be location. Appointment, meeting location. So you would do that here, meeting location, appointment, meeting location. So if this was like the Zoom link, you would say Zoom. Okay. If they weren't coming to the address, Zoom, and then you could go, date, and then you can come put the start date, start time, due time, if you want to make it a little more nice. Okay. And then you put all that there, and then you can add links. So let's say this is how they added these. So you want to reschedule. So let's say we were going to do a reschedule link. You can say, click here to reschedule. You would just highlight reschedule, come up to add link. And under the URLs, we could change that link for that input. Okay. So we see here, if we click on this link, they have appointment add to calendar. So what I do, because they don't have it in the tab to do, is I would come down here, go down to, we're in the appointments already, and then we would have the reschedule link. So I would just copy this, cut it, come over here, go to reschedule, put that, and then just say new window, save. Now I've got that link done. They need to add a little way to add those dynamic fields, but they don't. So that's how you would do it. You just get the link first and then copy and paste it in there. So customize these emails how you want. You can send yourself a test email if you want to send any attachments like PDFs or things to prepare them, or send them videos to watch ahead of time. You can customize this email however you want. Okay. And then once you have that, then we're going to tell it to wait. So this is a great way. So if you have a workflow where you're starting, you want them to wait a specific period of time, then you can do that. And so you can say wait after 24 hours, or you can say wait before 24 hours, or so 1 day before the appointment time. And then skip all inbound communications till the next event start date or action. Okay. And so we're going to send them that email reminder. Hey, your showroom visits in 24 hours. We can copy and paste all of that stuff so we don't have to do it again, and just remind them, hey, this is a friendly automated reminder to let you know that your appointment's in 24 hours. And then what we do is we wait 1 hour before their time. Okay. And then we send out an email reminder, and we send out a text message reminder as well. Okay. And so that's a great confirmation, and we moved our status. Okay. So some other things that you can do for automations is when a new lead comes in. When a new lead comes in, we can trigger. So maybe they came from a Facebook form or a claim offer submission, or maybe they're just a new contact created. We can we put them in the new lead stage. So this is something that's important, is that your new leads are not going to automatically go into the new lead pipeline, because sometimes you have contacts in there that might not be leads. They might be vendors, whatever. So the reason why we do that is we're going to add them and create that opportunity new lead stage. So we're going to add them to the long-term workflow. So you can add them to other workflows if you want to. And then we send out some emails, some text messages. We wait for them to proceed. And then you can even do an auto response. Did the contact reply? And then based on if the contact replied is true, then we add the opportunity to hot lead or active lead based on their thing. And then we could ask, was the response negative? And if the response was negative, we could send them a survey link. If the response was positive, we could send them a booking link. And this is how we can get them booked here. And like I said, these are all pretty much standard. You can go through these, but you can have this do whatever you want. And then like the workflow that we added here is just a long-term nurturing workflow. That's it. So it's going to be like a drip campaign. So you can go create those, and we'll go over more of drip campaigns. So we see that we updated that lead based on a trigger. You can say, even with this new lead, something to note is when a new lead comes in, we can say like this, contact created. And then if a contact has this tag, so maybe it was a downloadable guide, it was a high value content, whatever it is, you can specify a tag that when a new lead comes in, if they're tagged this way, or if they're tagged this way, don't do this, okay? But you can tag them and you can add filters so that way that new contact does the trigger as well. And then if they're an appointment no-show, so let's say you move them over to appointment no-show, you can also create a trigger link. So when they don't show up or they never click their link after an hour, it automatically moves them to no-show. But this one is when the person enters no-show status, then we're going to send them a follow-up link to reschedule. We're going to send them a text message as well. Hey, sorry you weren't able to make the showroom visit. Book another day and time, and then give them the booking URL to that calendar. Wait 1 day. If they have not booked, then we send them a text message. Okay. So that's what we're going to be checking for. And then that'll help with opportunities. So you can also move leads to stale. So maybe we want to change the status of a lead. If they've booked within 7 days, we triggered them as, we can update them in the pipeline to booked or hot lead. Like this one, hot leads. If they're in a pipeline within 7 days and they've responded, they're in there. If somebody, if new lead, 7 days. So if they're in pipeline, they've been in duration for so many days, but after so many days, what'll happen, it's going to look in these pipelines. So somebody booked an appointment, they haven't done anything in 7 days, or they were labeled a hot lead and they haven't done anything in 7 days, or they were labeled a new lead and they haven't done anything. We can change their status to abandoned, that, hey, we're not going to continue to flood them with emails. They're obviously not interested. So we're going to move them to status abandoned. Okay. Which means we're not going to follow up with them. So there's another type of workflow. And then some other workflows that you could do. Let's say we want to create a workflow. I think I have one in here. Let's say we wanted to create a workflow to move them from appointment booked to yes, but we want to know when they make their payment. So we can do a workflow for that. So the trigger would be payment status, payment received. Now, this will all be depending on your product. If you have 1 or 2 products and they're going to be in your pipeline no matter what for that product, but if you send out a lot of different invoices and outside of those products, you're going to want to make sure that it's linked to a specific product for that. But you can do invoices, all of that stuff. But payment status would be is success. And then you could also, like I said, add filters based on the product, the source, all of that stuff. But let's just keep it simple. Payment status is success. So that's a trigger. And now we can send them a receipt. We can move their status. So we would say create update opportunity. So we go to our marketing pipeline, and then we would go from payment made. Okay. And then we give them an opportunity name, which I think default anyways is their full name. The opportunity source again, lead value. We can put in the lead actual to the actual payment received and we can put in the total amount. Okay, so we can know exactly how much that lead paid, and then lead status would be changed to 1. So now we've moved lead to open to 1, and this would help us update our dashboard with how much business is closed and help with our conversion rates and things like that. So these are the basics of that, but you can create workflows from scratch. Just come over to automations, create workflow, start from scratch. There's already some made if you need those, but you can come here and it just works like a flow chart. And that's what I love about this. You can add if statements, else statements. You can pretty much set anything. And one other thing I want to show you, when you're sending out automations, there's a couple of things to keep in contact or in mind. Is that do you want to allow them to enter the workflow again? So if you don't want them to go through the workflow more than once, for instance, like when somebody schedules an appointment and you're doing an appointment reminder, we're going to want them to allow reentry because they might book more than one appointment, and we want them to be reminded. But if they are, going to make the payment one time, I don't want them to go in that workflow again. Do you want them to allow multiple opportunities in there? Do you want them to stop on response? So if you're doing a drip campaign, we want them to stop on response and move them to the next category, okay? Because like, for instance, in real estate, if I'm already talking to them, I don't need emails going out asking them, hey, are you looking to buy? Do you need to sell first? I've already talked to them. So they're just getting emails and it looks like you're not really paying attention. You can give time windows on when the communications go out, which is very important, especially if you're texting. You don't want to text, and a lot of spam laws and calling laws when you're calling business or people. There's specific laws. So, a lot of times I don't let text messages and emails go out before, 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. So you can adjust that for your area. Do you want them to go out on Saturdays and Sundays? So you might tell it to wait 2 days, but if you don't want them to receive emails that are not during the business week, you can adjust that. And then if you leave the email address blank and the from name blank, you can actually set a default. So you can use tags for that. If you want to default it to the agent assigned, so let's say you want it to come from the sales agent, you would just do the user and who they were assigned to, first name, space, last name, come over here, do their email address or your location email address, or you can manually type these in. If you're using a specific number, this is a demo account, I don't have a number, you can select the text number to always send from. And this way it uses it all the time and you don't have to fill those out every time. But if you fill those out, it will use whatever's in those blanks. So if you don't leave them blank and you do put another name or email address, it will default to those in the action. If there's something in there, if there's nothing in the blank, it will default to this. Okay. And so then once you have your workflow, you can publish it, click save and then publish it. And then your workflow is live. And so if any of those triggers happen, your workflow is going to kick in. And this is just the way that we can automate our workflow. Some things you're going to manually have to move, and that's okay. But we want triggers to happen when that status changes and make sure that we're updating the place in the pipeline, the opportunity status, and maybe the opportunity value for that. So no lead gets left behind, and you can automate your entire business this way. Well, I hope you found that information helpful. It's my goal in every video to give you something that you can take away today to grow your business. So if you have any questions about what I went over, drop those down in the comments below. If there's a topic that you want me to cover, drop that down there too as well. And again, if you want to get your own free trial of GoHighLevel, you can get my 30-day trial instead of the 14-day that GoHighLevel offers with my link down below. You can also get my custom white label version of GoHighLevel called High Five Connect, and that information's there down below. If you need any help with marketing or you have questions and you need to schedule a consultation, that information's down below as well. And if you want to keep seeing more content like this, you know exactly what to do. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new content, and I will see you guys in the next video.